Good evening, my friends. This is Paul. I hope you're having a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, whatever month it is, however old you are, whether you're a man or a woman. I hope that you're just having the most wonderful time of your life. And if you're not, I hope that you can find something optimistic to have at least something in your life. Just that tiny little something that you can look forward to. That's something that I like saying whenever I talk to people, usually at the gym or whenever I'm with a friend, is I just like to say, what's your good news? Anything cool happened recently? So that it saves on the usual tedium of, oh, how are you doing? And all I get is, good. Yeah, no. I want to hear some really spectacular news. And I want to hear people's stories, just like I like sharing mine. So, first off, for those of you with a short attention span, let me get straight to it with the main message that I want to say. And if you have a longer attention span, then you can stick around and hear some more nuance. So, short answer for those with ADHD or just want to click off right away, Catholic Gaming Nerd ain't going anywhere. If you hate my guts, you better continue to hate me until the end of my life. And if you like me, then you can be reassured that my doctors keep saying that I'm in basically perfect health. So I plan to stick around on this earth for who knows how long. But basically, the only thing that's going to stop me from having some kind of online presence, making videos in some capacity, is death. Even if YouTube shuts down, I'm going to find something else. Because you know there's a market for people making videos. I'll probably just make them elsewhere. In the meantime, though, don't expect me to do any other type of video making like, I don't know, Blue Sky or whatever those new things are. I'm a stickler for consistency, so staying on YouTube is my big thing. Now let's talk about nuance. First off, why did I decide to make this video? The main reason is that I'm the type of guy that doesn't really like change a whole lot. I usually sit in the same chair, usually eat the same food every day. The t-shirts that I wear, I've had them for like years. This t-shirt in particular, I believe I got this in 2013. And I still wear it on a semi-regular basis. A lot of the shirts that you've seen throughout the years, I had even before you saw them in those videos where they made their debut. And I did not want you guys to feel like that would ever happen to me as an internet presence. Sure, we may not have Charles Martinet as the voice of Mario anymore. We may not have Felix and Xeon at Nintendo Life anymore, but you are always going to have me as long as I draw breath. And even afterwards, I'm going to petition to God that I can be like the patron saint of loyalty, so that if you're the type of person that just feels super lonely or you need a friend, that maybe God will permit me to I don't know, have an apparition that I can be like, hey guys, I may be in heaven, but let me show you some kind of super sign and wonder to know that I'm still watching out for you. I'm still going to be super loyal to you. And if you guys don't believe me that I'm telling the truth about this whole Catholic Gaming Nerd Forever type of thing, you can easily research lie detection techniques. You can research oh, if his eyes are moving that way, that means he's lying. Do all that. I don't care. Because I am that confident that that is going to happen. And that goes for just about everything about me. I don't intend on doing any kind of body surgery of any kind, unless if it's for health emergency reasons. So I'm not trans, not ever going to be trans. So this body is going to stay the way it is. My voice is going to stay the same. Even my hair, I plan on keeping the same. Not 100% the same, because I am eventually going to need this trimmed. It is getting kind of I always like my hair long. In fact, my very first YouTube video, January 1st, 2013, I had long hair. But I plan on keeping my hair at least between this length for the rest of my life. Really, the only reason I can think of that might not be a possibility is, I don't know, say I lose it, either in a fire or chemo or something like that. But I will be sure to update you guys as soon as I can on the reason for that and say, don't worry, as soon as I have the option, I will grow back all of my hair and go back to being a hippie. So you don't even have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about me doing a Robert Carlyle and cutting my hair in season 6 of Once Upon a Time, because this hair, this voice, this face, Everything's gonna stay exactly the same. I'm even gonna keep working out so that this physique can stay roughly the same, so that you can still see these tiny, scrawny arms for the rest of your life. However, unfortunately, there is one thing that did have to change about the Catholic Gaming Nerd, and that's that Esabelle is no longer working for me as my quality assurance assistant. I've already talked about why that is in my best memories and best games videos. Esabelle herself talked about why in the best games, to be specific. It was not because of arguing, or not getting along, or any kind of dispute, nothing like that. It was merely because things in my financial life changed, and Esabelle wanted to make sure that I was using that money to actually support my genuine needs as opposed to my wants, and to be able to support my family. She has stated that she is open to returning if things change, and I'm also open to that possibility as well, but for the foreseeable future at the very least, I think it's safe to say at least throughout 2026, do not expect Esabelle to make any kind of reappearance. That being said, before she left the job, she did film a little special something for you guys. Unfortunately, I won't be able to reveal it right away. Probably won't come out until about November or December, but you will still have one last guest appearance by her in some form. It'll be a little bit different than what you're used to. It'll be more so of just the real Esabelle as opposed to her acting, but you will see somewhat of a return from her, just it won't be regular like it used to be. I also plan on visiting her, well, more specifically, she plans on visiting me sometime between July and November of 2025. We're not going to have as much filming done as we usually are because she did say she didn't want to be on the camera anymore. We'll probably still take a picture. We'll probably still have a couple of still screenshots, just not videos. So she'll be around here and there, but just no longer as my editor. So what that means for the channel is basically, I don't think at this point I have the financial stability to hire an editor, so you're probably going to see a lot more beginner style videos on this channel. Like, I've learned a lot since I first started doing this. 2016 marks exactly 10 years since I rebooted my channel, and also 10 years since I started reviewing video games. It started out with just me in my bedroom with the space heater on in the background so you could hear that whirring the whole time, and I was like really close to the camera, and I didn't cut out any of my stutters or my mistakes, or sometimes I would even cough and I'd leave that in the video, or I'd sniffle, and they're painful to look back at. But my audience has told me they want me to keep those up so that when they see my newer reviews they can see how much I've improved, as I've since gotten a capture card. I've since gotten a 4K TV, which you can kind of sort of see over there. I can now capture in up to 1080p, which is like basic HD. And I know how to make music tracks. I just don't know the super fancy editing tricks that Esabelle does. I'll try my best to have as good of quality as I am able, but I'm not going to promise I'm going to suddenly turn into Scott the Wise, even if a few of my commenters have alluded to certain videos of mine that no longer exist being of that quality. I will say though, and I don't really know how to say this politely, but I really do hope that you guys will no longer make memes about me. I know that people are gonna try, but I really hope that if you're my core audience that really respects me and cares about me as a person as opposed to me as a YouTuber, that if you do want to post something like a meme, add some context to it. Like, I don't know, maybe make a post on Instagram saying, hey, the Catholic Gaming Nerd is such a great person to talk to, so I hope that you guys will get to know him, or, you know, something along those lines. Don't just take an out-of-context screenshot and call it a day. That led to 2023 being one of my least favorite years in the channel's history. I still have that video, I just have it privated. So I'm thinking I might hand it off to certain people, but only if I can trust that those people will show some respect and not act like a bunch of sheep and trend chasers. I also think that a lot of people try to make comparisons, and I'm not always the biggest fan of that, because One of my biggest goals when I started this channel was that I wanted to do something that only I would do. I wanted to be the type of guy that was so irreplaceable that after I died, people would be genuinely harsh on whoever my replacement was. Like, if I ever did voice acting, like, people would say, oh, no, that's not the Paul voice. You just don't have it because there's no one else like Paul. I wanted anyone who copied my videos to be told, like, hey, don't rip off Paul. He has his style. Don't you go ripping off on that. Some of my least favorite comments are the ones that compare me to the angry video game nerd, for example. I really don't like it when they try to insert, like, Bible lyrics to his theme song. When I made my channel name, I hadn't even heard of him. I just thought the Catholic Nintendo nerd sounded cool, and then I changed it to Catholic Gaming Nerd after I started realizing that Nintendo were a bunch of jerks. And so you might have noticed that if you kept track of how many games I reviewed per year, they have gotten significantly shorter every year since 2021, because I just kept thinking of other ways to somewhat boycott Nintendo. Like, obviously I'm not completely against them. I did buy a Switch 2, and certain games on it I really love. Like, I love Donkey Kong Bonanza, Kirby Air Riders, just to name a few, but I try to rent most of the games. I try to, like, ask for gift cards instead of outright buying them with my own money. I want to support Nintendo much less directly and, like, rent or play as opposed to owning their property. But yeah, just don't compare me to Angry Video Game Nerd. I suppose if there's one channel you could reasonably compare me to, it's the Wii Viewer, because I feel like his style of reviewing was really kind of what I was hoping for in my reviews. But as I've gotten older, I feel like I've kind of perfected my own style to my reviews. Like, they feel like the kind of thing that only I would make. And the kind of jokes that I do are, like, so ridiculously polished that I don't really see anyone else making them. I'm not trying to say that I'm better than other people. Like, there are lots of YouTubers that I could name off that I think are significantly better of YouTubers than me. But what I am trying to say is I want to be the only me. I don't want there to be any imitators or copycats. And I also don't want people to assume that I am copying anyone. Yes, I was inspired by the Wii Viewer, but I tried my darndest not to be exactly like him. So I hope that you guys have noticed the difference, and I hope that you guys are happy with this channel turning out to be as authentic as it is. Now, as far as content going forward, I know some of you might be wondering whatever happened to my Myers-Briggs videos. Honestly, I have been thinking a lot about Myers-Briggs, ever since I mentioned in a few live streams that I was taking a bit of a break from it. I've been thinking of ideas of different videos to make, and I might still make them. It's just that I really like expressing my thoughts on games and stories. That's like the main reason I started this channel, especially the reboot in 2016, was I just said, I want to talk about the mission trips I've been on and the games I've played, and I just want to get my thoughts out in this game. Even if only 24 people watch the video, I still want those 24 people to know what I feel and what I think about that game. Maybe Myers-Briggs will return, but don't count on it. Like, even when I was actively making them, I told people, like, hey, don't subscribe for this. This is something that I do for fun. It's not really my normal thing. My normal thing is very much I'm a storyteller. But one thing I do want to tell you guys, before I forget, is that I had a chance to be prayed over a couple of days ago. And my sister was the person that prayed over me. And I'm sure you guys know that my sister and I get along very, very well. So this was a great opportunity to really deepen our bond further. And during the prayer session, God apparently, like, spoke to her and said, like, tell these words to Paul. And I'm not going to repeat everything, just because I feel like I'd have to discern if that's, like, maybe too personal to reveal right now. But I do think it's fair to say one thing that God said that hopefully will give you guys reassurance. And that's that He told her the reason for my entire existence on this earth. And that was that my purpose in life is to be a strengthener, to help people to be stronger in their faith, stronger in their optimism, or just to be generally just a person that people like hanging out with. Like I mentioned in my I deleted the memed video early video, I'm the type of guy, hold on a sec, I got something stuck in my ear. I'm the type of guy who generally is either like really popular or really unpopular wherever I go. It's pretty rare for me to be in a setting where people just think I'm okay. Like when I'm at the gym, there's a lot of people there that are just so happy to see me. But then in my youth group, there were a lot of people that bullied me. And for the people that really like me, I just want to be there for them as much as possible. I want to help people to be more optimistic. I want to help people grow closer to Jesus. I still am not really sure if I'm cut out for like converting people to Jesus. I think I might have made a post where a couple of people said that they were brought to Christ through my channel, but I have no way of telling if those people were either exaggerating or maybe they said like, well, I was already Catholic, but you just made me want to be more of a Catholic. So I really am hoping that at some point someone will have said like, no, I went from flat out atheist to Catholic because of your videos. But even if that's not the case, I've accepted that my calling is very much a strengthener. I am a volunteer catechist at my local parish, and I'm the assistant teacher to 4th and 5th graders. And to see their faith is absolutely wonderful. But what's even more wonderful is when they pay attention to my stories, and then I like notice the progression. Like, I won't say names obviously, but there was one girl in my class who really wanted to learn the St. Michael prayer. And she said that she really wanted me to like really help her to get to know that prayer. So we went out into the hallway. Don't worry, there were a lot of people walking by, so it wasn't a private, secluded area. And we just practiced the prayer over and over again. I kept pointing out like similarities in phrases. Like I said, so see here, it says defend twice. So that's a little cheat sheet. Just remember the 2 defenses. And then I mentioned that, like I kept talking about like, okay, here he's talking about attacking. Here he's talking about defense. You could see it as like a very powerful battle prayer. And then at one point she said like, hey, can you read it out with me? 2 weeks later, she had the whole thing memorized. And I just felt so happy that I not only was there to help her to know that prayer and to get stronger in her faith, but she even went a step further than what was asked of her. Because I noticed that she was talking to the main DRE, and when she finished talking, she just said like, oh yeah, by the way, Paul, I was cleared to do the prayer, and I thought that was the end of it. But then every first Sunday of the month, we're able to get breakfast before our classes. And she just happened to be ahead of me in line. And she said, Paul, I know I'm cleared to do the prayer, but can I still say it to you so that you can hear for yourself how much I've learned? I was so touched by that. And I told myself that whenever I inevitably start to miss the students after they graduate to another year, like to just create those positive time capsules of like, once upon a time, that person was really grateful for your help. But I'm hoping that that doesn't ever need to happen for you guys. That instead of creating a time capsule of the Catholic gaming nerd, that I'm just going to be perpetually there. In fact, I'll even relate it to another story from my past. So, I recently talked to a friend from my youth group, and she was telling me all that went on behind the scenes from the people that were bullying me. And apparently one of the girls had this big critique about me where she said, oh, Paul's just always there, why can't he ever leave me alone? And I would like to be that person in a good way to you guys, to take that insult and turn it into a compliment. If you're the type of person that's just feeling like the world has abandoned you, like maybe your friend is getting married and the friend is like, oh, hey, well, I'm a girl, you're a guy, I can't hang out with you one-on-one anymore because now I have to devote my life to this guy, so see ya. I'm out of here. Say you're the type of person that has someone who unfriended you. Say someone broke up with you. This channel, I want it to be a refuge. I want it to be that place of absolute security. That I'm not going anywhere. That you can expect weekly, possibly more than that if I review a game, videos to come out. I'll try to live stream as much as possible. And like I said, I have met 2 people from my comment section in person through this channel. I don't want to promise I'll do that to every single one of you, but I do want you to feel like you have at least one thing in your life that's consistent and that's not going to go anywhere. And I just hope that I just hope that you guys will give me just the tiniest shred of respect if I'm going to be around for this long. So that, I mean, regardless, even if you guys treat me like trash, I'm still going to be the world's longest running YouTuber, but I hope that there can be at least a little tiny bit of respect. I hope that you won't meme me. I hope that you won't compare me to the angry video. Heck, don't compare me to anyone. I hope that you'll see me as Paul. The only Paul in the world, or at least the only polished Paul in the world. The only Paul in the world that wears a Taco Tuesday shirt and an Epic shirt and a shirt that says just Paulism on it. And when I die, that shirt will be like buried with me so that no one else can copy it. And I hope that if one of you is fortunate enough to be the one to arrange my funeral or whatever, that you'll engrave on my gravestone, he tried his best. So, even after I die, I'm gonna just petition with God that I can be the patron saint of loyalty and just be that supporter, be that strengthener. And I'm totally open to just starting a random conversation in the comments about whatever it is you need strengthened on. If you're an atheist, I don't expect you to suddenly change your mind and become Catholic. But I do hope that if you're already Catholic, that I can help you to realize how amazing Jesus is and how great he's been in my life and how he still does miracles today. Because if he didn't, my shoulders would not be this straight as they are right now. They'd still be crooked and lopsided. So I know this was a lot longer than I intended, but I just really wanted to think about supporting you guys and wanting to make a difference and just making sure that you guys have nothing to fear. That even death is not going to end things. If anything, it's just the beginning. So, no, I will not be the next Charles Martinet. I will not be the next Robert Carlyle. I will not be the next Felix. I will be the next me. And me is going to stick around for eternity, baby. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I will continue to thank you to watching 20, 30, 80 years from now, however long I'm on this earth. And until the next time, remember to keep the faith, stay epic, and God bless. Bye!